Hello, I'm Deneitra Hutchinson. Welcome to Columbia Matters. This month's show is loaded with health and fitness tips to keep you motivated and to get you started on the right path towards a healthier you. We will also meet CA's new Director of Communications, get ice melting tips, and drop by Columbia Archives to get a sneak peek at the very special exhibit taking place there. We have so much information to get to. Let's get started. Personal trainer and certified nutritional coach Bonnie Pace has information on how you can achieve your healthy lifestyle goals.
Hi, this is Bonnie Pace, elite personal trainer and certified nutritional coach for Columbia Association. I'm affiliated with a couple of our weight management programs here, Dare to Lose and Optimal Health. Today we're going to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions, and what people generally put on their New Year's resolution is to diet. This year I'm going to diet. This year I'm going to finally lose that last 10 pounds. And what I want to tell you is, if there's one thing you should do this year, it is ditch the diet. If there's one good takeaway from the next couple minutes that I'm going to give you, it's that diets are not good for you. Here's why. Diets have a start date and an end date, and what we really want is to be healthy for a lifetime, not just for the next 2 months, not just for the next 6 weeks, or as long as you can maintain that diet. Diets sometimes ask you to do really crazy things, like cut out a complete food group for really not very good reason. Diets also can sometimes ask you to drastically cut your calories. This is really not healthy because, for one reason, it slows your metabolism, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. Your body doesn't really understand that you're just trying to fit into a smaller size of jeans. It doesn't realize you have a refrigerator full of food. What your body thinks is famine. Slow down, hold on to the fat, which is really the opposite of what we want to achieve. Also, dieting can damage your metabolism. It's something that when you do over and over again, each time you go through that diet cycle, it makes it that much harder to lose weight the next time. Another thing diets do is they make you lose weight, especially when you lose weight quickly, as water and muscle. This is really the opposite of what we want. If anything, we want to retain our muscle. Our muscle is what dictates our metabolism. So sometimes when you diet and you lose that weight quickly, and then after the diet's over and you start eating like you normally eat and you put that weight back on, you don't always put that weight back on as muscle. You generally put it back on as fat. So here's what happens. Over the course of, say, 3 years, maybe you dieted last year and you dieted the year before, and each time you were successful in losing that 10 pounds with whatever that diet was. And then you kind of slipped back into your old habits and the 10 pounds came back on. So if you've done that 3 times over the past 3 years, you get on the scale, you say, I'm exactly the same weight I was 3 years ago. Why am I so much fatter? It's because what you did was you lost the weight as muscle, as water, you put the weight back on as fat. The bottom line is, add more vegetables into your diet. Move a little more. Eat things that should be eaten occasionally, meaning once a week and not once a day. And if you're looking for more information on any of our weight management programs, feel free to stop by the front desk of any of our gyms. I'm Bonnie Pace. Thanks.
Thanks, Bonnie. That was great advice. A personal trainer can assist you and help you reach your fitness goals. Dennis Matty is at the Columbia Athletic Club to learn more about Columbia Association's personal training programs. And afterwards, Dennis will head over to CA's Membership Service Center to find out about the different types of memberships that are available.
Are you one of the many people looking to make a healthier lifestyle commitment as part of your New Year's resolution this year? If you are, the Columbia Association has all kinds of opportunities, including personal training. The personal training program at the Columbia Association is not just about fitness, it's about holistic lifestyle changes. With me today is Sam Yurko. Sam is the Director of Personal Training for the Columbia Association. Sam, tell me a little bit about personal training. Do I need to be fit to get started? It's more than just fitness, it's lifestyle. How does that work?
Dennis, we have a lot of different clientele that we work with. We have people that are just getting started, they haven't exercised in 10 years, somebody that's been working out and training for the last 2 to 5 years, but they just want to change. They want something to help them move to the next level, somebody that wants to lose weight, just become more active, feel better, learn more about how to eat better, how to stay motivated, just somebody that really coach them along throughout the process.
Okay, personal training, Sam, is more than just about once a week. I understand that the personal trainers encourage the participants to jump into classes, to jump in the pool, play tennis, golf. There's so many activities they can do. How does that exactly work?
Well, the best plan for the individual is based on what they want, what the results they want at the end, what their goals are. So they might train with them more than once a week. It could be 2 or 3 times a week.
Now, I was at the Columbia Gym, and they have a separate personal training studio, so you can exercise kind of in private with your personal trainer and then graduate onto the fitness floor.
We have the Columbia Gym private personal training studio on the 3rd level, where the trainer can bring in their individuals or their small groups and train in a more private setting. The Supreme Sports Club is also working on a location for that within their facility. And the Athletic Club kind of uses this room we're in right now, the boxing studio, which is open to all users. But the trainers can use this, it's a little more quieter setting.
Sam, now if you're new to fitness and you've made a New Year's resolution for a healthier lifestyle, and I just want to get started, how does that happen? How do I make that work?
If you're new to exercise and you just want to get started and you're interested in working with one of our personal trainers,
yes,
you contact us at our facilities. You can go to our website, Columbia Association Personal Training website, and we can help direct you to our trainers to get you going.
And what kind of activities would I do under a personal trainer?
We have personal training for one-on-one. We also have personal training for one with one-on-2 or 2 or 3 individuals in a group. We also have groups of 4 and also small group training of 6 to 10 people.
And then in terms of signing up at the individual, do you sign up for an individual instructor? Do you sign up at the club? How do I pick who my instructor is?
Basically, we at all the 3 facilities, we do have personal training walls where you can kind of learn a little bit more about our trainers on site. We also have a website that you can go to and learn about the trainers there and submit to be contacted by one of our trainers. We get your information when you provide it to us, and we look through it and we find out who the best trainer fit for you would be, and then we would have that trainer contact you.
Sam, I understand there's some personal training going on right now.
Yes, Daryl's working with his client Tracy right now. You want to go check it out?
Absolutely, let's go.
Get to it.
Hey Daryl.
Hey Sam, how you doing? Dennis,
Daryl, great to see you, man.
All right, you guys try to get in on our workout here?
I would love to join you. Tell me a little
later.
bit about what's going on.
Okay, we're doing a little boxing and kicking combinations, working on our little focus mitts here, trying to take that cardio up to another level.
If I didn't have to go over to headquarters to learn more about membership, I would jump right in there. But I've got to go. But I don't want to stop you guys. But you guys get to what you're doing, and I'm going to go over and learn more about membership. Sam, ready?
I'm ready.
Great to see you.
All right, have a good workout.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Tracy, we're going to be working on some round. Tracy and I are going to be working on some round kick combinations. Round kick. Here we go. Okay, going in a little bit more intermediate now. So we're taking the paddles up a little bit higher. Round kick up high. Okay. And the squat thrust now. Take it up a little bit. We're going to go down, keep the legs back. Back up. Pop my round kick. Tracy pops her round kick. Okay, working on some boxing combinations. This is called a patty cake drill. It works on your hand-eye coordination, but also too, it's fun. And you can work it with your spouse, you can work it with a friend, or your regular exercise partner. So Tracy and I are going to do the patty cake drill. Okay, we're going to start off first with the left hand with a jab with an open palm here, and then we're going to come with a cross, come off the backhand with an open palm here. Okay, don't hurt me. Okay, so your left leg forward, my left leg forward. Ready? Okay. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Intervals, you can start off with 1 minute or 20 repetitions, and then go up to 2 minutes and 3-minute rounds. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, making the exercise a little bit more advanced, now we're going to add a hook combination in here. Still with the open palm, I'm going to turn my hips. Tracy turns her hips right here. We come back, turn our hips. Okay, so now we're going to add our jab, our cross, and our hook. Jab, cross, hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, I think you hurt my hand. Okay, for a more advanced technique now we're gonna go over our jab hook combination. Tracy's got her UFC style gloves on. I've got my focus mitts on. Let's get busy. Okay, same basic jab, cross, hook combination. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Here at CA's Membership Service Center with CA's General Manager of Sales, Debbie Thompson. Debbie, it's great to see you. Debbie, there's all kinds of membership specials. There's all kinds of different memberships. I want to know all about them.
Well, this month we're running a special, December and the month of January. You can join Package Plan Plus for 20% off or 25% off.
Terrific.
And we have Package Plan on sale as well. Great specials going on. We have a lot of different options available for our members and residents. The Package Plan Plus package plan, we have income qualified memberships for members, people working on Columbia assessed property.
So all kinds of different memberships, and you can join the services individually. You can join the pool separately from
Correct.
the tennis, from the swim center.
Correct. We have over 13 different types of memberships. So if someone came in and they want to join just an outdoor pool, you could join just an outdoor pool. We have individual, 2-member, and family. If someone wanted to come in and get a Package Plan Plus, which is our top-of-the-line membership, they will be able to get everything that we have to offer.
And we have, and that everything is golf and indoor tennis and indoor swimming and ice skating and sports park, and the list goes
down,
and the list goes on and
miniature
on.
golf, correct. And they would be able to do all of that. They'd play for their greens fees and indoor tennis court fees, but they would be able to be a part of all of that right here in Columbia.
That's terrific. And in terms of the income qualified membership, how does that work? Do you call, who do you talk to?
You can call us to get the information, but you can also go onto our website on columbiaassociation.org. And we have the list and requirements. We file the IRS, so it goes by family size and income. And then you can go online and get your transcript from the IRS and bring that in, and we can qualify you and set up your membership at a discount.
Debbie, I understand there's a new club, and we're so excited in the Howard Hughes building. Yes,
we're very excited. That's going to open up in 2014. It's going to be approximately 27,000 square feet, and we're going to have a great opportunity to have new memberships available.
Debbie, where do people go for more information?
They can go to columbiafit.org, or they can call us at 410-730-1801.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. CA recently hired a new Director of Communications. Joining me now are CA President Phil Nelson and Director of Communications Celeste Ollinger. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so Phil, tell us who you brought with you this month.
This, as you stated, is Celeste Ollinger. She's our new Director of Communications, and I've worked with Celeste before at a different job on a different planet. And
that planet will be Colorado?
Colorado. And, I know that Celeste did a great job with a lot of video productions there, and she did most of it by herself.
Oh, wow.
And I think she has a great background and a great base for what we're going to try to do in the future of Columbia.
Okay, we're gonna talk to you a little bit, Celeste. So, what made you move from Colorado all the way across the country to work for Columbia Association?
I was interested in Columbia Association because it appears to be a very progressive community, known for its best practices, and I wanted to be a part of a team that has already earned its place in the market. And Columbia was voted in the top most livable communities across the nation. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that team?
Oh, that's a great comment, because I'd love to know your impressions of Columbia so far.
I am just in awe with the community. There are many days that I drive to work and I feel like I'm driving down in a Hallmark card because the aesthetic beauty is just so intense and beautiful. It makes it a great place to want to live, play, and work in. And I'm excited to be a part of the Columbia Association doing that.
Yeah, well, the association does a wonderful job of making it look beautiful for all of us. And maybe both of you could comment on this question. What would you like to see? What are you looking for between the residents and the Columbia Association as far as communication goes? I don't know if either of you wants to chime in on that one.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I hired Celeste for the job, was because I think we want to do more interactive communications. As Celeste pointed out, we do a good job of putting information out, but I want to improve the way we do of getting information back from the community and then putting it into to best practices.
Okay.
I'm looking at more community engagement, as Phil said. Again, Columbia does an excellent job of getting information out to the public, but what I'd like to get is a little bit of opinion of how to solve problems from the community and addressing issues before they become problems. And I think that the stakeholders or the community residents could assist Columbia Association in solving a lot of their own issues or problems beforehand.
So those sound great. Are there any other goals you have as Director of Communications?
We will be looking at our videotaping and improving and enhancing that method of communication. We'll also be looking at the mixture of communication tools that we currently utilize and making sure we have a well-balanced mix of communication tools that we're utilizing to get out our message to the public.
Great. Thanks for being on the show, and Celeste, welcome to Columbia. During the winter months, we often deal with snow and ice, but did you know that some types of salts are more environmentally friendly than others? CA's Watershed Manager, John McCoy, has tips on ice melting products that are safe for the environment.
It's winter. Icy surfaces are an issue here in Maryland during the winter, and we're here today to talk about the various products that you can use to melt ice, whether it's your front steps or it's a parking lot. Okay, we have a number of different products on the market that you can use to melt ice. I think the first thing you got to understand is that everything you put on the surface during a storm, before a storm, which is when it's appropriate, ends up washing off that surface into our stormwater system, into one of our lakes and streams. And that's not good because these products have side effects. So don't ever use a fertilizer, nothing with nitrogen in it, to melt ice. Use these products on the market. We have various different salts. Now you have to be careful with what you use and how you use it, because they do affect concrete and metal, steel, and they do affect plants. Okay, the first two products that we have, and I'm talking right now about single salt type products. All right, this is sodium chloride. This is basically table salt. The chemical, the elemental formula or symbols for that is NaCl, and it's just table salt. This is effective down to about 18 degrees, and this is fairly hard on plants and fairly hard on concrete and steel. The second product here is calcium chloride. Good in very cold temperatures, much colder than we see here in Maryland. And it is also very hard on concrete, it's very hard on steel, it's corrosive, and both of these products, as I said, are very hard on the plants. This next product is potassium chloride. This is good for work on concrete. This is fairly safe, not quite as corrosive as the other materials. This is a good, relatively fast-acting product, not quite so corrosive on concrete and steel, and not quite so harmful to plants. And our last product here is magnesium chloride. The symbol MgCl. This is a fast-acting de-icer, which is also a good fast-acting product, good in relatively cold temperatures, and not so harmful or corrosive to either concrete and steel and plants. So when you go out to buy salt, there's a couple of things to pay attention to. One is it's actually a little difficult to find single salt products. Most everything we're seeing on the market today is a mix, so you need to read the labels on the bags. Now, we're not endorsing any products and we're not evaluating any products. I just want to show you how a label's set up, so when you go to the store to buy salt, you actually can figure out what you're buying and you have some idea how it's going to work and what the impact's going to be. The label is right here, and it's a product label. It's going to tell you what salts are in it. This product actually has all 4 of these salts in it, and the products are listed in descending order of quantity. Once you're done and you have your product in hand, I think the most important thing is you put it on sparingly before we have a storm. before we have ice, before we have snow. So listen to the weather. The weather says we're going to have a wintry event. You go out and put on a thin layer of this in areas where you're concerned about ice buildup.
Thanks, John. Some of us struggle when trying to lose weight. Dr. Oken has tips to help you get started.
Hi, I'm Dr. Harry Oken. This month, we're going to be talking about nutrition and how important it is in obtaining optimal health. 2 out of 3 Americans are either overweight or obese. This is absolutely the single biggest problem threatening our health as a nation. 30 years ago, when I was in medical school, I was taught that a calorie is a calorie, and your weight depended upon the amount of calories you took in against how much energy you expended in terms of exercise and your day-to-day activities. We now know that not all calories affect the body in the same way. Let me explain. If you take in calories that are very dense in terms of carbohydrates, we call these calories high glycemic, your body reacts in a specific way. When you take in high glycemic food, examples, candy, cookies, cakes, ice cream, other things like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, you have a large insulin rise due to that high glycemic food. That large insulin rise tells your body to store those calories as fat rather than to burn. The typical American diet starts out like this. Most Americans will start in the morning having perhaps cereal, a reasonably high glycemic food, and that cereal, usually a bigger portion that's intended, will cause an insulin rise. As your insulin levels rise, your body actually stores those calories as fat. Then, as the insulin levels come down, and what goes up must come down, and the insulin level comes down quickly, you get hungry. So if you started eating at approximately 7 a.m. and now it's 10 or 11 o'clock and your insulin levels are coming down, you get hungry. And then you may reach for another high glycemic food. Maybe it's a donut, maybe it's a bagel. Insulin levels come up. As the insulin levels come up, your body will store that high glycemic food as fat, not burn it. Then they come down. Again, you get hungry. Up and down. Now it's noontime. At noontime, or maybe a little later, you're now hungry, it's time for lunch, and you have more high glycemic food. The typical American diet will have a sandwich, chips, maybe a cookie. Insulin levels high. When your insulin levels are high, you store it as fat, not burn it. Then it comes down again. It's time for an afternoon snack, so you go to the vending machine and get a candy bar. So this fluctuating high insulin levels, then coming down causing hunger, high insulin levels coming down causing hunger, actually really increases your likelihood of picking up weight you don't want. What's the solution? Eat lower glycemic food. Low glycemic food are foods that are actually rich in antioxidants and fiber and yet do not cause an insulin rise. Example, in the morning, instead of having cereal, cottage cheese and fruit. For a snack, maybe some almonds. For lunch, salad. Snack, carrots, celery. Dinner, a nice piece of lean protein along with rich vegetables full of antioxidants and fiber. Then your insulin levels, instead of gyrating up and down, are like this. And now you're an effective burner. Because your insulin levels are not soaring, you're actually burning. So when you're trying to lose weight and get to that optimal weight that is healthy for you, do the following things. Number 1, exercise regularly. Try and exercise 45 minutes at least 6 days a week. Number 2, eat low glycemically. Lower glycemic foods keep your insulin levels down. And when your insulin levels are low, you tend to burn fat better instead of storing it. Number 3, stay adequately hydrated. Get at least 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day. And number 4, think about using a food diary. There's a lot of applications you can get online. They're very helpful in monitoring your weight, monitoring how many calories you take in a day, and finally, number 5, Put positive pressure on yourself. Tell your friends and your family what you're doing. Tell them you have a fitness goal and a weight goal. By putting positive pressure on yourself, you actually help yourself meet your goal. This is Health with Dr. Harry Oken. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Dr. Oken. Barbara Kellner gives us a peek at the Creating Columbia exhibit that is currently on display at the Columbia Archives. Here's a look.
Columbia will celebrate its 50th birthday in 2017, but the Columbia Archives has begun to mark the occasion because the story of Columbia begins many years before the first residents moved in. In February 1963, there was a flurry of land sales in Howard County, a jump big enough to prompt headlines such as secret land grab in Howard. We now know that the land grabs was actually the land acquisition for Columbia. But even that was not the beginning of the story of Columbia. The exhibit at the Archives, The Idea and the Gamble, takes a look at the genesis of Columbia, the convergence of Jim Rouse's thinking and the suburbanization of Howard County. The exhibit highlights speeches made by Rouse in the 1950s about the quality of life in overcrowded, deteriorated cities, and the rise of the suburbs that offered better housing and more open space, but lack the services that contribute to a higher quality of life. The less told story of Columbia is the prospect of the suburbanization of Howard County. The question was how and when it would develop, not if. The exhibit focuses on the 1960 General Plan, which introduced new zoning uses and called for a projection in the rise of population from 36,000 to 200,000 in the year 2000. The exhibit's a good start, but it only scratches the surface. The Archives has much more, and the public is encouraged to come in and spend some time with the documents. In the early 1960s, the Howard County Citizens Association formed, and they had a newsletter called Vox Pop. They accurately reported that the fight for good zoning never ends. So what were some of those development issues that they reported on? In October 1961, at the zoning hearing, residents expressed unanimous opposition to the apartment house zoning in the vicinity of Rogers Avenue and Route 40. November 1961, Howard County is undergoing a metamorphosis that has become common throughout the United States. Suburbanites are moving into a county where population growth has been static for 100 years. The conversion of some of the best farmland in Howard County into houses, driveways, roads, etc. is symptomatic of a national problem in which over 1 million acres a year of the country's best farmland are chewed up by expanding suburbia. In April 1962, the major issue facing Howard County is what direction its inevitable growth will take. Will Howard County develop like some of its neighboring counties with thousands of houses virtually on top of each other? Or will Howard County maintain much of its rural residential charm, with homes on spacious lots, with highways free of clutter, and with farms operating without harassment? April 1963, the battle for orderly growth and spacious, peaceful living in Howard County will be grim and prolonged. In the last few months, and particularly in the last few weeks, enormous amounts of land in Howard County have changed hands. From February to October 1963, the Rouse Company purchased about 14,000 acres. The story of how Jim Rouse and his colleagues took the idea of a city to a county that wanted to preserve its residential rural charm is the next chapter in the story. Follow the Columbia Archives on Facebook, where we are tracing the history of 50 years ago today.
Thanks, Barbara. Making the commitment to take better care of ourselves can sometimes be a challenge. We hope that this month's show has inspired and encouraged you to make healthy lifestyle changes in your own journey. For more information on programs and events at CA, visit columbiaassociation.org. Thank you for joining me, and we look forward to seeing you next month.